Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday. It's officially Friday. It is officially our lower body prehab session. Welcome. My name is Chris. I'm your coach. I'm your sports therapist. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Become a part of our community. We do this type of stuff every single day. We have a different type of session every day. So if you're interested, become a part of that. Let me know how you're doing in the comment section. Say hello. Say good morning. Good morning, Lucy. How you doing? I hope you're all okay. Hope you're all having an amazing day so far. It is officially the beginning of the weekend, guys. Well done. You made it. Hope you're all having a lovely one. Hello, Kim. Hello, Paul. How we doing? You okay? Hope so. So, things you're going to need today. First of all and foremost, your mats, your trusty mats that you have out every single day. You're going to need one of those. You are going to need some sort of slippery surface. And by some sort of slippery surface, I mean, potentially if you have wood flooring, a little towel. If you have nice little slip pads, obviously they're the go-to. If you don't have any kind of slip pads or anything like that, what you're going to then need, if you have a bit of carpet, is potentially like a carrier bag. You know, if you have big fluffy socks and you have wood flooring, big fluffy socks love wood flooring to slide across, kind of almost like an ice skate ring. You're also going to need some little mini bands. Okay, so this is a little pack of mini bands. Those bands that go around your knees, and some sort of balancing pad. Okay, I've got two different variations. I've got this one here. It's like a kind of like a squishy dome. This one's harder, and then this type of pad. Okay, if you don't have any of this type of stuff, what is a good alternative like this? Okay, is two kind of towels, if you will, two beach towels, two normal bath towels. Fold them up, make them nice into a nice square, and then you pretty much got a solid foundation to make that floor a little bit unstable. If you can, go barefoot. Okay, barefoot is always the best. Only then add trainers when you're kind of doing sport-specific training, and then you'd wear obviously those trainers that you run or compete in. Okay, so yeah, if you go barefoot, go barefoot. So good morning, Tim, Gemma, Anne, Kim, Paul, Lucy, and everyone else who hasn't chucked anything in the comment section. I don't hold it against you. Some of you might not be able to, but yeah, have a lovely one so far. So winding it back. What we're going to do, we're going to stretch out, wake ourselves up, limber ourselves up, ready so we can kick Friday in the bum. Okay, so from there, what you're going to do, you're going to draw up. Okay, you're going to stretch around. You're going to come back there, stretch up, back around. Okay, so each time you're coming up and around, landing that foot in line with your wrist. Making sure your foot is facing forward and you're rotating around as much as you possibly can, just like we worked on yesterday. Hope you're feeling great after yesterday's session, by the way. You all did really, really well. You know, a lot of you are coming along brilliantly and have made so much progress. You should be really proud of yourselves. Honestly, okay? There's a lot to be said about that. There's also a lot to be said about reminding yourself on how far you've come, because being British, we tend to bombard ourselves with negativity as human beings. We tend to forget, or we don't like telling ourselves on how amazing we are when we really should. You know, there's a difference between confidence and arrogance. Okay, so from there, laying on your back. Okay, planting your feet down, hold on to your hips, drawing up nice and tall, squeezing your bum, tap, big shoot up. Good. Good, that's it, keep squeezing. Keep your knees in line with your toes, in line with your shoulders. Brilliant. Okay, from there, laying on your side. Remembering what I said about last week, okay, it's important that you draw your toes up because you engage the outside a little bit more. And it's also important that you draw out with your heel, not your toes, okay? When you draw out with your heel, your foot stays straight, you don't rotate. And then that way, your whole track here is all in line. And you end up working everything that you think you're working. Okay, so try and keep the head nice and neutral. You need to chuck a pillow underneath or try and get that neck muscles working. Imagine you're in a straight line, draw that shoulder back, just like so. Draw it up, get those glutes firing. Everything nice and strong. So last one, boom. From there, little breakdance move, spinning around, laying down, nice and flat. There we go, like that. Brilliant. Don't forget to draw that shoulder back, keep that spine nice and straight, drawing up, just like so. Keeping the toes tucked forward. That's it, big drive. Last one. Good. Okay, so from there, what you're going to do, you're going to plant one foot forward, ideally bend your foot like so. You're going to bring your chest to your knee, okay, and you're going to lean forward, trying your best to keep your heel down. Draw back, okay. What you should feel is potentially a stretch up your soleus here, right in the middle, depending on how tight that posterior chain is. Some of you might not even be able to kind of really move forward, okay? But you're trying to really force your weight on your kind of middle of the forefront of your foot. Should be thinking pretty much putting your weight there, okay? Just by here, as you draw in, you're going to want to lift up your heel, try not to, and draw back, okay? So it's only a little bit of movement, using your weight to draw into it. You're not necessarily hammering your leg to potentially overstretch your calf, okay? You're just nice and gently, dynamically stretching the ankle joint itself. So from there, spinning around, opposite side, and again, planted on the floor, separate the toes. It's really important that you separate the toes, especially some of you, depending on your footwear, your feet will potentially look like this, mashed up together. If you ever want to correct that, there's a brilliant company called Corrected Toes. It's basically little toe spacers for the women in the room. When you're having your nails done, there's little spaces there. It's kind of like a silicone version of that goes over your toes, spaces them out and realigns the joints and the bones between your toes. I know a few people that have got them and a few clients that have had foot conditions and really made a massive difference on it. So if your toes are kind of squished together, have a little look in those. Drop me a message and I'll point you in that direction. And then also kind of wearing barefoot shoes, you know. That's it. So last one. Good. Okay, so from there, what I want you to do is stretch your legs out. Okay, you're going to lift up one, you're going to roll it around, stretching out as much as you can, making big circles with the ankle itself. Hopefully you're going in a clockwise direction, if you will. From there, go in anti-clockwise, which is a little bit weird. You never know, you might find this side easier. I don't at all. Don't really think about it. As you can tell by the jerky nature of my foot right now. Okay, so from there, swap your legs clockwise to begin with, which weirdly feels weird on this side. Interesting. Much movement as you possibly can within that ankle joint. That's it, anti-clockwise. Good. Okay. So from there, you're gonna sit up. You're gonna hug the life out of your leg. Bring your one straight. Make sure toes are straight, the knees straight. Squeeze in there. Going up. Swap with sides. Big squeeze in. Again, recorrecting, realigning this leg. As you're doing so, a lot of us just get relaxed and drop it down. Not in this class, you don't. Good. And then from there, bring the soles of your feet together. Okay, you're going to sit up as tall as you can. Push that chest out while you draw your hips as close as you can to your heels. And then really push your chest out. Just feel your groin all along here, as well as your back, as you're doing these movements. So big, deep breaths. Sit as tall as you can. Good. From there, what I want you to try and do is stretch out as far as you can there. Okay, so keep this leg nice and straight. Draw it out as back as you can. Should feel it a little bit here if you've got a little bit of tightness. That's it. Hopping back in, swap with sides. As wide as you can. All will become apparent. So the reason why you're kind of doing unconventional stretches, if you will, is because you're going to be doing unconventional balance movements. Okay, so it's good to practice the movements you're going to do. Okay, so from there, what you're going to do is get your little straps out. So if you have a little band, resistance band, just like so, that's what you're going to need. You're going to need it around your foot to begin with, just like that. Okay, as he says, his feet aren't on camera. So from there, shuffling back, planting your feet directly underneath your hips. Okay, so shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, toe, all facing forward. Okay, you're going to separate those toes, trying to really space them out as much as you can. Right. The goal is to drive your heel down, your big toe down. Your big toe controls the other little four. Okay, so the more you focus on that, the other four will fall in line. You're gonna hand on the hips, proud chest, look up if you can. Okay, go lift up one there. You're gonna draw out a little bit and come back in. Okay, depending on your band, will depend on how much stretch you have in it. Okay, you are driving out a little bit and coming back in. So two more. Be short and sweet. Good. So stepping wide. Exactly the same opposite foot. Again, separate the toes. Keep your head up. Keep your chest up. Lost it. Ooh. Driving out. Try your best to balance and keep that leg off the floor if you can. Good. From there, just landing up, nice and tall. Okay, you want a mid calf, all right? So literally where your calf curves, up from your soleus into your calf. You want it right covering that as best as you can. Again, right? It's going to place a bit of pressure on the knees. I need you to focus on driving it away from your hip, not your knee. Okay? If you drive it from your knee, you could get knee pain or a bit of knee discomfort. If you're focusing on here and drawing out there, you won't even feel it in your lower leg or your knee at all, okay? You're going to be a lot more powerful doing this now, all right? So just be aware that you don't throw yourself off balance. So separate the toes again, lifting up, drawing out, back in, making sure that that foot is dead straight, because you're focusing on your hip and your ankle, not your knee or your toes. It's really important that you do that. Just like that. There you go. One more. Good. Swap the sides. Tuck your toes up. Separate the toes on the floor. Big drive out. Ooh, almost. That's it. Keep it going. Last one. As you can tell, that's my weaker foot. So, sliding it up again. This time, about a hand's width away from the knee, okay? So above, you got your knee, you got a little tendon by there. If you put your fingers either side, you can feel the edges, okay? You should feel the stiffness of that tendon. Your palm is going right there. Your band is just above, okay? Again, separate the toes, proud chest, actively open the chest. As you're standing there, some of you are probably doing this. I know I probably was at one time. So actively squeeze the pencil, like I said yesterday, in between your shoulder blades. Draw them back, squeeze it, open up that chest, okay? So, heel and big toe down, separate the toes, big drive out now, and notice how much, I'm not saying easier it is, but powerful you are. It's not necessarily as easy. You're just able to drive it out a little bit more. Good, two more. Last one. Good, swap the sides. Good, that's it. Big deep breath. Keep going, two more. Last one. Brilliant job. Knock it down. So grab yourself a little drink if you need one, or you want one, or you fancy one. Check your bands out of the way. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to work on our hamstrings first, then we're going to go into a balance. Typically, most of us are quad dominant, okay, because we're always walking upstairs, we're always loving squats, we don't like deadlifts. We prefer the burn, if you will, a burning sensation in our quads. We actually tend to like that. The hamstrings feel very different. They feel kind of like almost like they're going to cramp. We don't like that feeling typically. Okay, so that's what we do. We don't train them, you know, or we train them as less than our quads, because we're like, right, I enjoy that part. Burning sensation here, burning sensation in the bum. Hamstrings feel like they're going to cramp, and then you blame it on, oh, they're cramping, and that may happen. So just be aware of it. Okay. However, slow it down, take your time with it, get the activation there, and you'll get the neural strength and the muscular strength. Okay. Don't need to do it quick. All right. So with all that being said, okay, you're going to start by going into a bit of a bridge, but notice how I've got my feet off the floor. Okay, so my heels are down, okay, but the rest of my foot is actually up. Now there, I'm using my shoulders to draw down, pushing my hips up. I'm going to hold my t-shirt here because it's quite baggy and I want you to see underneath me. Okay, And I'm gonna inch by inch stretch out, but I'm staying off the floor. Hopefully you can all see that, okay? So now I'm working my back. I can feel my back from yesterday, so just be aware that you will feel that. Feel your bum, your hamstrings are probably screaming, and then you're gonna inch by inch shuffle it back in, keeping your hips up all the way, okay? All right, it's really important you keep your hips up all the way because you want to engage your lower back, your glutes, and your hamstrings together. You don't want it just to be your hamstrings, okay? So, if you haven't already, jump in this position, lay down, draw your hips up, toes up, but there, little by little, walk it away, keeping your hips up off the floor. And then kind of almost shuffle them back as you push up. Good. That's it. Hips up tall as you can. Keep it going. So last one. Real tough. Keep it going. Relax. Good job. So, as you can feel, your back is probably sore if you did yesterday's class, okay? And your back is working overtime during this exercise, okay? Also, your hamstrings, potentially as you walk it out, you're going to feel it a lot more. You're going to feel that pulling sensation, that burning sensation effectively, or potentially the cramping sensation that I was on about. It's really important that you focus on your hip. Your hip is the gateway between those three muscles, okay? And you think your lower back attaches to the top of your pelvis, so if it's pulled down, it's overstretched, means your hamstrings are tight, means your glutes are kind of inactive. If they're pulled the other way, it means your hamstrings have got a lot of pressure on their tendons, okay? And you might be sore right at the bony part of your bum, okay? I know a few people in this group have suffered with that over the years. Again, your glutes are probably inactive because they're pulled up too much and they're not being targeted as well. And then it also means your back is then really tight and weak, okay? So too much tightness, too much flexibility leads to weakness. So you kind of want it that optimal curve, if you will, that kind of right at the peak at the top, where you've got the right amount of flexibility, the right amount of tightness to allow that kind of elasticated spring, okay? So getting ready, going back into it again, okay? Focusing on those hips. Now, if you have a weight that you want to use, okay, chuck the weight on your thighs just like here. So depending on how hard you found that, okay, and you want a small weight or whatever, chuck it on your thighs. Keep your hips up though, but you have to be able to keep your hips up, okay? So if that weight keeps your hips dropped at any point and you're struggling to go up and make that your focal point, lose the weight completely, all right? Just means you're not there yet. It doesn't mean that you won't get there, it just means you're not there yet, okay? So back into that position, okay? Getting ready, hips up tall as you can. Just like so, walk it away. Slow and steady, keeping those hips up tall as you can. Stretching out. There we go. Big stretch, big pause at the bottom, and then walk your back in. Keeping those hips up tall as you can, so you get that straight line at the end from your shoulder all the way to your knee. That's it. Keep going. Good. Keeping those toes off the floor if you can. All on the heel. So start feeling it on the front of your shin as well. Good, one more. Keep it up. Big stretch out, keep that back in check. Hips up tall as you can. Big extension, good job. Good job, well done, shake it out. Whew. So, big deep breath, okay? Let's start that one done, okay? How are we feeling so far? Let me know in the comment section. Grab yourself a little drink, have yourself a little rest, stretch your hamstrings out if you need to. Doing good, doing well, okay? Next, you're gonna need your slip pad, okay? You're gonna need a raised surface, okay? I'm gonna use my sofa. You're gonna be pretty much doing a similar exercise with your slip pad. For those who've done this session before, probably know what is coming. The second exercise, you're gonna be sticking your feet on your raised object, i.e. my sofa, and drawing your hips up there in a glute bridge. However, you're going to be doing a single leg if you can, okay? So, bear with me. I'm going to stretch you out. I'm going to show you what you're doing. Now, for those who are just starting this and really struggled with that previous exercise, okay, what you're going to do is have one foot down, one heel on your slippery pad, okay? You're going to drive up. You're going to slide out with that one leg, and you're going to draw it up, okay? Just like so, down, draw it up like that. Now, if you can, okay, you're going to draw both on, keeping your hips up as much as you can, slide out together, nice and slow, nice and steady, taking your time. Once you get there, you're going to fully lock out, and then you're going to drive up as much as you can. Now, come up with power, right? You're going to feel your hamstrings work overtime during this exercise, right? It's one of the best exercises for hamstring activation, and it's going to get you really, really strong. However, you're going to feel it, okay? So don't be afraid of that, right? Once you've done that exercise, you're going to spin around. Now, you're going to stick your bum as close to that object as much as you can. Now, first version, you're going to drive up, tall as you can, come down, tap, shoot up, okay? For those who can do that pretty well, you're going to stick your leg so your quads are in line, hands on your hips again, so when you drive up, you're fully up with that straight line right there, okay? So, pick your weakest balancing leg first, okay? I'm picking my right leg because that's my weakest balancing leg, which means my left leg is my strongest balancing leg. And then I'm trying to control my hips so my hips stay straight. So when I lift that leg up, they're still straight. Now, if I can't keep them straight, work on here first, get stronger, then go to the more advanced exercise. Don't just go straight in exercise number 2 because you're like, well, if that's the hardest, I'm going to get the most benefit out of it. You only get the benefit out of each exercise if you're doing it correctly, okay? So just develop that mindset, okay? It's technique over everything. Once you can do that, it's kind of almost like a computer game. You then get to advance to stage 2, level 3, level 4, whatever the levels are, okay? So gently lie down here, okay? If you're doing one leg, stick to that one leg, okay, and then you can swap over next round and so on, and then we'll go on from there, okay? So, big powerful drives. Hips up, tall as you can to start with. Sliding out, nice and steady. There we go. Nice and controlled. Down the bottom. Big deep breath. Big draw in. So keep it going. So final one. Great job, well done. Rolling over, setting yourself up, getting yourself ready. Bum as close to the object as you can. Hands on hips. Plant your feet down. One leg up if you can. Big drive up, let's go. Powerful as you can. One more. Good job, well done. Legs out nice and straight. Should have felt that hamstring then. Okay. Whew. Grab yourself a little drink. Let me know how you're doing in the comment section. And then have a little rest, have a little breather. Try to lengthen up your hamstrings. Bring your toes up. What that'll do is kind of stretch out your calf, soleus, bit of your hamstring as well. Oh, how we doing? It's tough on the old hamstrings, isn't it? It's tough on your back, especially if you're sore from yesterday. But that doesn't mean, like I said yesterday, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily having a negative impact on your back, okay? Works in the posterior chain. It's going to get it nice and strong. Nasty, yeah, very nasty. Most people struggle with a lot of leg exercises because that posterior chain here, all the way up isn't as strong as the front of our body. You know, we are so kind of front body dominated, if you will. We tend to lean, sit in this position, we get tight here, we pull in, we draw in. Once we're tired, we sunk down. You know, we're not always extending up like this, even though we should do. So you're constantly battling that. Okay, so if you can get strong in your posterior chain, you're going to see huge performance benefits, right? So gently getting ready. Now, if you use one leg at a time, what you're going to do is swap sides now. If you use two legs, continue using two legs. And gently lie down, nice and steady. So, hips up to begin with. Go to 3, 2, 1, and go. Big stretch out. Nice and tasty. There we go. Lock it out. Pause. Big drive. Hip is the main focus. Keeping those hips up as much as you can. So keep it going. Two more. Good, last one. Good job. Well done, spinning around. Trying to remember which leg you used. Stick your bum as close as you can. But just be careful. So, leg out straight as you can. Big drive. One more. Good job, well done. Whew. Shake it out. Good job. Nice long legs. Rotating the ankles, waking them up, shaking out, stretching out those hamstrings. So from there, grab a little drink. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how you found those exercises. We're going to move on now onto something else. What you're going to need, okay, is potentially your little yoga block or an object like a foam roller that you can lift up your leg over like we've done previously, okay? You're going to need a balance pad. For this, I'm using the little AirX pad, okay? And you're going to need some sort of fun object, okay? Now, this can be, like I've got a little beastie ball with a flat bottom, okay? So I know it's not going to go anywhere when I place it down, right? Something that you can place and have a little bit of fun with, okay? So whether it's your resistance band and you just grabbing that, picking it up, standing up and doing all the rest of it, or your actual yoga block that you're using, okay? So, ready? Boom. First one. Like we've done previously, hitting those hip flexors, okay? We're going to sit dead straight in front of our object, okay? We're going to come up, going to come over, come back down, come up, come over, back down, up, other leg, over, back down, up, over, back down. Now my focus is keeping my legs dead straight in regards to facing up towards the sky and the ceiling. I'm not rotating my foot any other way, okay? I'm not trying to swing it over and use momentum and bring it like that, okay? I'm literally trying to controlly lift, draw a straight line across, come back down, okay? Your hip flexors, having worked so hard already, are gonna feel sore. Sometimes they might even, especially if you drive it up as far as they can, which is the goal, they're gonna feel like they're kind of cramping a little, right? It's completely normal. Just try and push through that feeling, okay? So, big deep breaths. Proud chest. If you want to, draw your arms back, okay? Going in 3, 2, 1. Lift up, big draw across, back down. That's it. Try and keep your upper body as still as you can. Those hips as still as you can. Yes, the legs are going to move. We're trying to have them independent from the hip. So, good job. Well done. Shake it up. Okay, so slide this object out the way unless you're using it. Okay, so balance pad is nice and firm in the floor. Okay, you are going to put this object down in front of you. You're going to use your opposite hand to pick it up. Okay, so your left foot is down, which means your right hand is doing all the work in regards to picking up. Okay, you're going to come up, off. Okay, you're going to come down, stand up nice and tall. Okay, come down, stand up nice and tall. Come from there, down, stand up nice and tall. Then you're going to place it behind you, stand up, to the side, stand up, back in front, stand up. Okay? All right? So gently get ready. Now that object can be absolutely anything. Obviously, the bigger it is, the potential more of a pain it is, and so on and so forth, right? So take your time. You're going down in a seated position, like we practiced before, okay? Like you do when you're up against your chair, sinking down, okay? Just like so. Foot's in the middle. Separate the toes, tall as you can, all right? So, you ready? Opposite hand to the foot on the floor. Down. Grab it. Take your time. Ooh. Through it. Buggered. Ruined it, guys. Ruined it. It's a little harder when you have to rotate and safeguard the knee, isn't it? Right, so gently swapping feet. Hopefully you guys are doing better than I am. Planting it down. Now, if you're anything like me, I stood on my better leg the first time, so this side is going to be even more interesting than the last time, okay? But allow yourself to have a bit of fun with it, and your goal is to try and get as many as you can around without putting your foot down. Now, if you guys can do that, let me know in the comment section, because I want to know, because I want to celebrate you, all right? So, best as you can. Opposite hand going down. Pausing after each one. No. That's it. He's done it. So well. Right. Slow and steady. Hopefully you're looking a little bit like me, or even better. And shake it out. Now, if you're anything like me, right by here is on fire, okay? Especially after the exercises we were doing earlier, tucking our toes up, okay? Fully engage in the front of our tibias, okay? We've got a little strip of muscle all the way across here. Helps tuck your toes up, but more importantly, it helps keep your feet flat, okay? So when you're running, if you're runners or triathletes, quite often our foot gets weak and they don't do the job, all right? So they don't tuck up. And by not tucking up, you don't get that elasticated property by slapping the floor, and that free tendon energy that makes you a little bit more kind of bouncy, if you will. Helps with plyometric training. So if you're massively into kind of box jumps and things like that, it's a real brilliant mechanism that you want to get in a habit of, is tucking up those toes. And if you do running mechanics, getting those toes up, so when you hit the floor and bounce and rebound, you're in a good practice, okay? So any exercise you do, keep those toes tucked up. The second most common injury for ankle injuries is a lateral ankle sprain, which is basically means rolling your ankle this way. And if you've ever done it, it absolutely kills. The entire outside of the foot will go black, bruised, swollen, and be really, really hard for you to overcome, okay? So these type of exercises help reduce that. Pretty much almost eradicate it. Okay, the better you get it, almost eradicates it. Okay. So, first most common injury is Achilles tendinopathy. So Achilles tears, right, by here. Okay. 76% of runners will get Achilles problems at one point. Okay, I know a few people have got them now. This type of training reduces it by 77%. Okay, so 1% more, right? So it means we're doing it 1% more in your favor. Okay, because 3 out of 4 runners will get it. Right? You don't want to be that. You want to be that 1% that don't. Okay, so back on the original foot, balancing as hard as you possibly can. Right? Okay, getting ready. Left leg's hopeless, right leg's better. Need a squishy surface. Yeah. All right. So squishy surface, if you've got towels, get 2 towels, because that squishy surface makes a huge difference, and it makes it 10 times harder, you know. This Hindu board one, okay, is like even harder again, because you can inflate it up as much as you want, whereas this is kind of like a bit more of a memory foam. Makes it hard, but it's much more stable. Okay, so gently getting ready. Balancing, slow and steady, driving that heel and big toe. Those are the prime focus. Grabbing it, nailing it, smashed it. There we go. Calm it down. Look at that. What a champion. Messed it. Spoke too soon. Hopefully you'll do better than me. Hopefully enjoying yourself at the same time. Have a bit of fun with it. A brilliant game I like to do with this type of stuff, okay, is I've got colourful cones. Being a coach, is having a couple cones around you, and then having a person by the side of you going red, yellow, 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 green, white, and calling out different colours so you don't know which way you're going. And it's a brilliant way of, one, making it nice and challenging, and all you have to then do is flip the cone over as you kind of go into it. Stand up nice and tall. Now in that way it kind of makes it a little bit more challenging, a little bit more fun. And then also have a challenge where you have to get all the way around to complete it. Otherwise you have to go right back to the start. Okay, you get 3 goes and then you rest, and so on and so forth. It's another way of kind of really working yourself. So swap your legs if you haven't already. Opposite hand, chucking it down. Whoop. Nice and steady. Taking your time with it. Focus on the spot. Smashed it. Nailed it. Walk it off, shake it out. Whew. Nice and easy. So, chuck it down. Smashed it, guys. Whew. How are we feeling? Let me know. Hopefully your ankles and legs and stuff, as you can see, it doesn't need much to do a lot of work with these kind of proprioceptive qualities, okay? Proprioception is your body's awareness of itself, where those limbs are, okay? Super important. It's one of the most underrated training methodologies, right? And it's pretty much has everything to do with balance training, rehab, prehab. And the problem is, it's only athletes and people who've been injured that do it. You know, if you do it and you get better at it before the injury, Why would you have the injury in the first place? You know, I'm a firm believer in no one should get injured unless it's a contact injury. Unless something has physically hit you and been more powerful, then why are you getting injured? Okay? Keep it up. Big stretch back. Sit, drawn up, nice and forward. Whoa. You're doing really good today. Really, really good. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings. As always, I'm always interested. Don't always have to say it was amazing unless it was amazing. You know, if there's certain things you don't like, tell me and I'll change it and I'll adapt and grow for you, because ultimately it's your channel just as much as it is my channel, you know? Equal rights. So, shaking out, holding on your toes, stretching those hamstrings out. Good. Swap the sides. Gently leaning back. Amazing. So the big question is anyone doing anything amazing on the weekend? Anything exciting? Have an amazing day. Thank you so much for joining me. In regards to this lockdown, if you're in Wales, I will still be here every single day, still helping you, just like I did when we first had the lockdown. That's the whole reason why I created this channel. Originally, it was on Instagram. Then I found that YouTube might be a better way to go, which is why I'm here. It was always been about helping you guys. And that's the reason why I created it. That's the reason why I'm still going. It's the reason why I do everything. You know, I want to make a difference and I want to help you guys as best as I can. So the only way I can do that is with honest feedback. So if you have any feedback that you want to let me know, or you want any ideas, you're like, Chris, I think it'd be great if we introduce this. Let me know. You know, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm going to take it on board and I'm going to implement it, you know, and that's the great thing about it. So have an amazing day. I hope you've enjoyed this block of this week of training. Let me know. Keep liking, sharing the videos. Keep telling your friends. Get them to subscribe to the channel. The more it grows, the more I can do, the more I can offer, and the more I can help. Have an absolutely amazing Friday. You all deserve it. Have a lovely weekend. If you need me, drop me a message on here. Drop me a message on my Instagram. I am Chris_Hill. And yeah, let me know. If not, I'll have a lovely one. And I'll see you bright and early Monday morning, ready for that upper body session. All right. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much for your lovely comments. Enjoy it. And I'll see you soon. Take care.